Am I going? You going? I'll go. What's up, Ripple Effect? How's it going, guys? Happy Tuesday. We had a couple questions or concerns, more or less, on inviting. So not so much on like how to invite is what we're going to go over, but maybe more just like confidence in inviting, and maybe like how like is that what you're looking for, Cassie? Is like how to or like what to say in your invitation? Maybe like how to word it, how to go about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
What to say.
What's that?
Just what to say, because I can tell by the responses I'm getting that maybe I'm confusing people with what I'm saying. So, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's the other thing too is I noticed in the beginning when I would start talking to people, a lot of people thought that like in a challenge group we were doing like workouts together live, or like we were doing like plank challenges or squat challenges or all these different things. So everyone goes about it in a different way, I feel. What I do is I like to, of course, first of all, what you need to be doing is having a conversation with somebody. I personally never just go out and start cold inviting and start like inviting all my friends to some challenge group they don't even know about. I always go through and I do my hey girl messages, and then that's how my conversations start. And then that's what makes the invitation for me so easy, is that I'm already discussing with them about their goals. We probably have already talked about that my challenge group really isn't so much a challenge, more as it's an accountability group. We all do our own workouts. We all log it. And I always say too, because I don't require, some coaches do, some coaches require Shakeology, either drinking Shakeology or doing a Beachbody program. I don't require it. I just tell people, you're not required to do it, but most of us do. You're not required to drink Shakeology, but most of us do. And so I just throw that out there, just like little nudges, just saying hey, and it usually sparks some interest for me. And I mean, I haven't talked to a lot of people that I don't already know and that aren't following me and following my posts on social media, which that's why our posts are so important as well, is because they see what we're doing. And so when I do my invites, I'm already talking to them. I've already explained to them what my accountability group is. And if they don't ask, I don't tell, I don't even say anything. I'll let a week go by or so, and then I'll just be like, oh, hey, I totally forgot in our conversation the other day, I run these health and fitness accountability groups. I'm just wondering if you would be interested. I have gotten a whole bunch of crickets, like, I don't really do that kind of thing. And I never, I always come back and I nudge at them again later if they don't say no. Like, unless they told me, absolutely not, that's not my thing. I literally had a girl tell me one time, I kind of like smoking and drinking too much to do that. So I was like, okay, well, when you're done with that, go ahead and hit me up, and I will totally get you in my group. So I have a child sitting at me. Hold on one second. How long do you Oh, no, go. So, go. I will be done in just a second. Mean mom. So anyways, also I think that it's really important to be confident in what you're inviting to, because it's just like, I know Christine used this a long time ago, and I use it to everybody. If you go to a movie and you love the movie, are you not going to go tell all your friends about that movie if you love the movie? If there's a super good sale at Shopko and you're like, holy crap, I just found these for like $3, are you not going to go tell everybody that you know? If you find like the best fitting pair of pants in the world, you're going to go tell people. You want to share the things that you know to your friends, because what you're doing is working. And so if you're confident enough and you know that what you're doing is working for you, and your friends are having issues with their health or their fitness, or you know that they're a healthy and fit person, that's what I go through my Facebook and I look at people who are either complaining that they're not happy, or they're working out and they're posting inspirational posts every day, and those are the people that I talk to, because I want to share with them and I want to invite them and I want them to be part of what I'm doing. So that's my tidbits on inviting. I don't know, does that help? Do you have any questions with any of that? Cassie, since you're here, you get put on the spot.
No, that's okay. That helps, actually. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've had people like Lisa that just joined the challenge group. She was wanting to work out together, but we used to be workout partners, and so she's missed that togetherness time, and she needs somebody to kind of be there with her. but we haven't been able to find a place to work out together. So,
well, I know of a place you can work out together. You can always use my shop anytime you want. I mean, you can just check the schedule, make sure there's nothing going on in a certain time, but as far as my team goes, that's an open door. If you guys want to go in there and use it, please do. I mean, people are using it for free. You might as well. I want to add a little bit to what Melanie's saying. When we're inviting, we're solving problems. So the idea is to get in conversations with them where you're starting to see struggles that they're having and things that are frustrating for them that you can solve with, whether it's Shakeology or fitness or the All Access Pass or even the business opportunity, Energize, Recover, any of those things. Like we have an answer. We have the answer to a multitude of problems. And you're just offering solutions, and not as a doctor, but as someone who sees, like Melanie just said, like, I just saw a good movie, you should see it. I just did this amazing program, you should do it. I was struggling with nutrition, this is what worked for me. And you're really just inviting them to join you. And that's kind of the key. When you say people are confused, and you don't have to answer, but I think you should, because chances are if you have the question, someone else does too. So I don't ever want you guys to think that there's a stupid question. There's not. If you have a struggle, someone else probably has it too. Do you want to share what you feel like some of the struggles you're getting in your conversations are?
kind of what Melanie said about people like Lisa wanting to work out together. Like she thought it was something we all did together. So I think most of the people that I've talked to, they're not motivated enough to try it, I guess. So a lot of my friends are really, they're thin, so they're not into working out, but they're not necessarily healthy. Mm-hmm. So a lot of them just aren't motivated enough to try it because they don't have weight to lose.
And some people aren't ready. And for some people, you have to find the other struggles. Like I know a lot of thin girls who are tired, who turn to soda in the afternoon, who have hormonal struggles that are often caused by food. So just because they aren't, like all of us here started out with extra pounds to lose. But that doesn't mean that women out there, I have a few girls in my challenge group who didn't have pounds to lose, but just wanted to feel better. And everybody wants to feel better. So and sometimes like Dawn always says, not always, but she says this a lot and it's really good. Like when she's talking to someone, she's like, I think you're just not ready yet. And that's okay. It's okay to tell someone that you're not ready. Yep.
I ran into that problem not realizing that I was confusing people as well when I set up an invite. And when you set up an invite on Facebook, like if you do a group event and then you invite people to it, it makes you put a time that the event starts. And I had people that are like, I just can't work out at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay, but I just thought in their brain that was the only time. So I like actually passed on a person and was like, okay, then like I didn't, and then I like went back and I was like, wait a minute, did you think, one of the things that's been helping me with my initial like messages is I say I do a virtual fitness group. And that may just, when you say virtual, if you find that you're running into that, and you may not, like I said, although I had 2 people in like the same week confused about the time, like, well, I can't work out at the same time as you. I'm like, well, I don't, okay.
Well, I guess you don't have to. And I get that confusion a lot too, because people think I'm inviting them to my live classes, and I'm not. There's way less money in live classes than there is in Beachbody. Let me just be honest there. I mean, you come, I love doing it, but more money is here. So I have to clarify that a lot too. And I actually stole it from, Melanie's here for me, so I don't know, but I stole it from Melanie. I call it an accountability group. And I usually, as I say that, talk about the free tracker app from your phone. Like I say, I have this accountability group. We use a free tracker app, and people just love the word free, an app, and from their phone, and the word accountability. So that was a big thing that I took from Melanie, calling it an accountability group, and that's helped me a ton.
Yeah, that's when I changed that, because I just had so many people like this word challenge just like it just scared them away, and they were just like, oh, I don't have time for that. But the second I started calling it accountability, and I was like, and you know what? If you can't check in every single day, that's not a problem. Start with, just a little bit every once in a while, and eventually you'll work your way into it. And that seemed to help me out a lot. So, also, something I wanted to add is that it's not just our challenge groups or our accountability groups that we're inviting to too. Like in some of the conversations I've had, a lot of them haven't gone to this yet, but I have a few people that are interested in just straight out coming out as a coach and signing up as a coach, because in the conversations I had for them, they were like, well, I can't afford that kind of stuff. I'm like, well, there is the opportunity to make money with Beachbody while you're getting health and fit and supporting other people. And so that's always a good little nudge in there too. When people say, well, they don't have the money for that, I would like to try to get it in there. It doesn't always work for me, and that's the other thing, is it's not the same thing that you use for one person is not going to work for everybody. So none of my conversations have looked the same. I don't use scripts. I know some people do, and again, that's the thing, is something may work completely different for you that works for us. And when you find out what works for you, please share with us, because we're always looking for new ways. So.
Yeah, Melanie makes a good point with the business, by the way. I'm reading Get Over Your Damn Self, and her team and her suggestion is lead with the business. Like, you don't lead with your products, you actually lead with the business opportunity, and then okay, go on. And then you the products are like your backup plan. And so that Beachbody is a little different in that our best coaches are products of the products and have had success stories. It's called the Vital Process, in that they've gone through a challenge group, they've fallen in love with the products. However, that doesn't mean someone can't sign up as a coach out of the gate, invite people to join them as they start their venture and have crazy success. So Melanie's spot on there. And we may eventually in this specific team move towards doing that as I'm reading this book, because it is an effective way to start big with because the business is big and scary to talk about, right? It's scarier than the challenge group, let's be honest. So you start with the big scary thing, and then you can take it down and be like, okay, fine, you're not interested in the business, but you for sure need this stuff. This stuff will change your life. So that's something to consider too. Absolutely.
And Taryn talked about that a while back, and I'm sure she'll bring it back again. It was a good, better, best. Good is signing up with a program. Better is getting your Shakeology and your program. And the best option is getting your Shakeology, your program, and your coach enrollment all in one. Because even if you don't sell a darn thing, it didn't cost you anything to initially start, which is good. A couple of the points that these guys absolutely hit on. Cold inviting sucks. You don't want to have to do it. And the way you get around cold inviting is continually having conversations on a regular basis with all your people, but you have to continue to add to your network regularly. And we say it now, and I haven't looked at your friends list, but your friends list is going to run out over time. If you continue, and I don't know how many invites you're doing a day, but if you follow that 3 invites a day, you're going to run out of people eventually. And if you're not adding, and as you're adding, just jabbing, when we say jab, it's just going to their page, liking their stuff, commenting on their stuff, because you want them to see you regularly. Because when somebody likes your picture, the first thing you do if you haven't seen them in a long time is go to their page and stalk it, right? Like, it's just what we do naturally. We're nosy. So that's why it's important not to have your whole Facebook page be Beachbody, but if somebody was to look at your page without scrolling, they'll at least see something related to what you're doing. Because if you're not jabbing, and you're not having regular conversations, then it gets awkward when suddenly you have a goal and you want to fill a challenge group and you haven't been talking to people. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I screwed up bad, big, bad. And I'm going on year 3 now. And I've gone literally through just about every single person on my friends list, and I haven't talked to some of them in 20 years, and I've been doing some cold invites. Part of that was a new push to get out of a comfort zone. and I use scripts, but I use it, but I tailor pieces of it to each person. So even though I'm cold inviting, I'm looking at something on their page and it's like, hey, I don't have any clue if this interests you or not. I know this is, I actually say wicked random because that's how I talk. I'm like, I know this is wicked random. I'm sending it anyway. I have this, virtual fitness and nutrition group coming up. I'm looking for people that would be fun to have in it. If I shot you a link with more information, would you take a look to see if it's something you would be interested in? And that's where I've been leaving it. Now, I'm getting a ton of people ignoring me because these people don't know me, so we're not connected on Facebook. But I've had some people say, yes, send me the link. I've also had some people ignore me, but they're starting to like my posts and they're starting to like my pictures because they're paying attention. But you don't want to have to get there. And as you're starting to have conversations with your friends, you're young. I don't know how young you are, but you're young, right? Like 22. Am I right?
I wish. No, I'm 26.
Okay. Well, I was saying 22.
Still pretty young, sister.
So, your friends are at that stage. I'm at the stage where my friends, we're broken. And we're, getting ready for total knee replacements, like many of my friends, because we're former athletes that are broken and old and falling apart. But when you're talking to your people that are skinny, that aren't looking to lose weight, you talk to them about how you feel now. I'm feeling I joined this group and I thought it, I don't know about you, but I thought it was going to be corny as heck. And I tell my people, I'm like, dude, I thought this was going to be corny, but I can't believe how awesome I feel doing it. Not only have I gotten in the best shape of my life, but I'm feeling empowered. I'm feeling confident. I have energy that I didn't have. That's where you're tailoring it to the people you're talking to. So that's where a straight up script isn't. So some of my people that I've been where I'm scripting, I'll look at their page and I see they got a ton of dog stuff. And I'm like, hey, I totally love dogs. It would be awesome to have another dog lover in my group. Or I see that they like faith. And I'm like, I love working with people that love Jesus. Whatever it is, try to tailor. But you're still talking to people that you know. And so that's where a script is great, but you have to tailor it because you'll get called out. I see it all the time in a couple of groups. Christine will share hers with you, but I see it in a group I'm in, and somebody shared the post that says, yeah, I'm not really interested. This feels like you just copy and pasted this. And if you do copy and paste, you need to make sure that you copy and paste the right one, because I recently copy and pasted a wrong one, thinking that I had a mutual friend, and I'm like, hey, we had this mutual friend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, scratch that. You're not the person that I have a mutual friend with. Ironically, it still started a conversation, but eat crow, hello. Go ahead, Christine. I know you're.
Well, and it was a long time ago, and it was in a training that we used to put our team through. And it was Eric Worre's stuff, which is stuff I still recommend you use, but I had asked her on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're not interested at all, and 10 being you're completely interested, 100% all in, where are you? And she was like, they're using a script? Because I don't talk when has Christine ever been on a scale of 1 to 10? I'd be like, so you in? So I did, and I called her, and because I called her and I was like, yeah, I screwed up. I was nervous. She ended up ordering and signing up with me. But that's my next tip for you, Cassie. Get on the phone with people. I know we all feel super ballsy behind the keyboard. You're better in person. You're better on the phone. You're better when you can hear their voice and they can hear your voice and you can actually have a real conversation. You're better, I promise you. I can be honest and say, embarrassingly, because I don't do it enough, I've never failed a phone conversation. And that's embarrassing because I don't do it enough. It's a shame on me. And Dawn was making a really good point about how the challenge group seems cheesy, but it's not. Everyone wants a place to fit in. Isn't that why everyone's on Facebook and Instagram and social media? Because we all just want to find a place where we're liked and we fit in. Is our challenge group not everybody is so loved, and you found your tribe and you find your family, and we usually connect with people that are like us. So it becomes your own fit family, and that's something that I like to talk about too. I have a couple questions I want to ask you and everyone that ends up watching. And so I'll ask them to get a paper and pen. But before I do that, I want to know if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, like pick our brain. And then I want to make sure Melanie and Dawn don't have anything to add.
I'll think about it, but I don't think so.
Okay. If you have questions later, feel free to ask. And one more thing, those conversations that you're struggling with, pop them into Ripple Effect, pop them into our challenge tracker group. Yay, Tanya, because we can help you. You know, if you get stuck or someone asks a question, you're like, oh my gosh, hey, Tanya, we'll walk you through it. We'll support you, okay? Cool.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us. I know you're busy tonight. Thanks for popping on. Mel and Dawn, before I ask my what I think are brilliant questions, do you have anything to add?
I was just gonna reiterate like what Melanie said. I don't know if you follow a whole lot in Team Fitfluence, Cassie, and anybody else that's watching, but Taryn puts out a lot of great stuff, and she recently asked about like our marketing plan. And a marketing plan sounds like big and scary to me. Like when somebody says a marketing plan, and all that you want to think about is, what does your month look like? What date is your challenge group starting? You know, what date do you have things happening? Because when you're inviting somebody, when they feel like there's an urgency, like, hey, I have this group and it starts in 2 weeks. Like, what are your questions? Let's get you your stuff so you have it in time. That's what they want you thinking about. But when you do like a challenge group a month, because we say you should always have a challenge group, kind of what do you do in the in-between, right? And so that's just what you want to think about. Like, do you have a like page? You may or may not, but for some of the people that you're talking to, you might say, hey, I have a group that's going to be coming up. Like, would it be okay if I shared information? And then if they're not, say, well, do you mind if I shoot you the link to my like page so you can go ahead and like it? Invite them to something, and that's that whole idea of like better, best, good, better, best. Right now, my next official group doesn't start until the 10th of July. So for me, it's really hard to invite to my next group. Now, I let people roll into a current group. So for me, I invited for the free Shaun T week. So now I'm kind of an in-between. So I'm inviting people to a Facebook group page or my like page so that there's always conversations, and then they start following you. So just, I mean, think about that. When you see marketing plan, like, don't let it freak you out. Like, that freaks me out. And I'm like, what's your marketing plan? I'm like, marketing what? It's just have in mind when those things are, so that as you talk to people, you can kind of put a little pressure on, like, hey, you want to do this month. You want to get in on this. Sorry. Okay. I want to hear.
Well, the best part of having a schedule, like Dawn said, is then you don't get out of the habit, because once you lose the rhythm, it's hard to get it back. So even if it's not your challenge group, like Dawn said, if it's your free group, if it's the coaching opportunity, if it's just whatever, be in the rhythm of always talking to people and inviting, so you don't have to pump the well all over again. So that marketing plan, you can just call it your schedule or your calendar or whatever, so it doesn't freak you out. If you don't have a pen and paper now, come back and watch it later. I have questions I want to ask you, and I hope this helps you with the big fat F word that you feel towards inviting, and that's fear. So we're going to get rid of it because you don't need it. So my question number one for you is, did you feel like your coach was bugging you when they invited you to join their group?
Tanya, don't answer.
I would just say, if you do, please send us a private message and we'll, work on ourselves. But did you feel that way? Write that down, and then you don't have to answer it right now, but I just want you to write that down. Did you feel like your coach was bugging you when they invited you to join them? My next question is, has joining Beachbody made a positive impact in your life? I'll write it again. I'll say it again. Has joining Beachbody made a positive impact in your life? My next question, hold please. I'm gonna call Casey Garrett, please stop. Do you believe in the products? And write that down. I want you to really think about this before you go invite. Do you believe in the products? Now, here's your gut check. And you all should answer yes to this, but I want you to really believe it. Do you believe you are a worthy coach that can help people? Because I guarantee you that's probably what's stopping you. And the answer is yes to every single one of you. You all have something that someone needs. You are all an inspiration to someone. I see all of your social media. I see you're posting in the group. And you are important. And someone out there needs you. So the answer is yes. Do you believe you are a worthy coach and that you can help people? And my last question, if this has helped you and you can help others, isn't it selfish to not throw out a lifeline? If this has helped you and you can help others, isn't it selfish to not throw out a lifeline? And that lifeline is the invitation that you think is bugging people, that you think is ticking people off. And yes, I understand why. Yes, everyone is sick of MLMs on Facebook. Everyone's sick of getting cold messages. I'm sick of it. If one more specific company private messages me, I'm going to have a Facebook rant. Oh my goodness. I understand. But Beachbody changed my life. This stuff made my life better. It keeps me sane. It's the reason I'm healthy. It's the reason for a lot of good things. It's the reason I know all of you incredible people, without a doubt, 100%. So why wouldn't I throw that lifeline out for someone? So every time you go to write someone and you're like, I don't want to bug them, bull. You want to help them. You are a problem solver. Okay? I know inviting is scary, and this is coming from, like, I don't want to bug people. I don't like conflict. I don't want to freak you out. I definitely don't want to make you feel like I'm like trying to get in your business. I do want to help you. And I can't help you if I'm not reaching out, because chances are they're not going to reach out to you because people are too scared to ask for help. So you have to offer. Questions, comments, concerns? Do you need any of those questions repeated? I know it got a little loud for a second there.
I am going to share my my takeaways from the National Wake Up Call today, because when you say that people are scared of another MLM, another sales pitch, all those things, the only difference with us is different. Because in Beachbody, whether you're a customer or anybody, or just not even a customer yet, we want everyone to succeed. That's the difference. And once you become a customer, we want you to become a coach, because we want you to make money doing the exact same thing we're doing, because we want everybody to succeed. So that's the difference between us and all the other MLMs. This company wants everybody to succeed. So that's why I keep sharing, and that's why I keep inviting this, because it helps me. It helps me be more confident. It helps me with my health and fitness. It helps my family. It helps me financially, and I want that for everybody else too. So, and I don't want to make a ton of money off of people. I want a ton of people to come in, and if that's what they want to do is make a ton of money, to come in and make a ton of money. So that was my takeaway from it today, is that we want everyone to succeed here and be coachable. That was my other one. Be coachable and keep your own bucket filled, and tell yourself how awesome you are, because we are. We're awesome, and we can share that with everybody. That's my takeaway.
Rah.
The last thing I was going to pop in, just because that question was funny about, did you feel like your coach was bugging you? I have a very different personality than, let's say, Christine. But part of my personality when I know somebody is I get on them. And like Tanya said, like I asked her a bunch of times, and she may or may not say I bugged her. And I've actually had people come back and say, I'm so glad that you stayed on me. It was the best thing I did. But that's more my personality. So you do you. Like as you hear, like you'll see scripts shared. You need to make it fit for you and be your personality. I mean, I sent Christine a message one day and said, oh yeah, so this girl who's not even a customer that I've never talked to, I literally just sent a message that said, mark this day on your calendar, because this is the day I told you you were going to join my team. And she didn't even know what my team meant. Now she might, we'll see. But it just depends on your personality and who that person is. Like, I know that I could say that to that person and she didn't run away and get scared. So that's where, again, Melanie hit the nail on the head. You just keep talking to people daily. It was I think it was last week's National Wake Up Call. Those 3 different categories of people that you want to be talking to. You want to be talking to those like new conversations every day, following up with people that are currently in your group. And when you have coaches under you, start talking to those coaches. As you start Success Club, you're going to get leads. And that's where you're going to be talking to, 10, 20, 30 people a day. And you're just going to grow exponentially. So inviting is just talking to people, all you're doing. And I totally needed to stop 5 minutes earlier because we needed to end on Christine's questions because they were awesome.
I guarantee you, even though Dawn thinks she was bugging those people, she wasn't.
She wasn't buggy.
Yeah, see, so that's that first question. Your coach wasn't bugging you or you wouldn't be here. So.
Dawn's not even my coach, and she's not bugging me when she told me to listen to the National Wake Up Call 5 times today.
Only 5.
It says I needed to listen to the wake up call. Hello? And I did, and I listened to it, and it made me that much better. So, not bugging.
Only 5. Only 5.
I'm gonna unmute Jeff. I don't know if he wanted to say anything, but I muted him because it was loud. So, Jeff, thanks for joining us. I don't know if he can hear us, but thanks.
Yeah, sorry, I muted everybody so that I didn't have all that noise coming to the thing. Yeah, I love being here.
We're glad you joined us, even though we can't see your face, but safety first, because I know you're driving. Any other questions?
I'm driving.
Questions, comments, concerns?
I love you guys. Keep it up.
Yay, see more rah-rah. Why wouldn't you want to be part of our team? We love each other. We're all so happy. I don't even know. All right, we're going to do our team fist bump, and you guys go have a wonderful Tuesday evening. Ready? Boom. Have an awesome evening. Thanks for joining us, you guys. Go invite some people.
Bye, guys.